I'm getting ready to start a 24-hour reading challenge. I think oh my god! Not cicada! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Y'all, these cicadas are wild. Like, what? This is the second time one's hit my back. Like, look how big they are. These are literally freaky. So freaking freaky. I think it's just sleeping in there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm going to start a 24-hour reading challenge. And I'm going to do it with Taylor. She's going to come over a little bit later and read with me. She's not going to stay overnight because she has to work in the morning and like be in the office. And she's there right now, so like she can't read during the day with me. But I'm starting this in the afternoon, and I've moved my whole schedule around because I have never done a challenge like this where I read for 24 hours straight. This is my first time ever, literally ever, trying to read for 24 hours straight. I don't know if I'll be able to. I didn't even like take a nap or anything last night. Like, I didn't prep. Like, I kind of wanted to do that, but I was just like, I don't know if that's gonna like help at all. So we're gonna see. These are the books that I'm going to read. I'm gonna read Dances on audiobook because I do have some work to get done, obviously. So whenever I'm like doing stuff on my laptop, or whenever I'm like doing outdoor work, because I need to do some outdoor work too, I'm going to be listening to dances. I also will read some of the book too. I love like hopping back and forth between audiobooks and like physical books whenever I have like a busy week. And then I also think I'm gonna start the physical version of Keeping 13. This just looks like such a good story, and like Taylor's talked about it so much. I loved the first one, so I'm really excited to hop into the second one. Taylor's here. We've been talking about books. I paused the timer. We've been just genuinely talking about books for a few hours.
as we do.
A few hours. Do you want to give them any of your thoughts? Tell them what you liked. She's read like 7 books since the last time we talked. Because like obviously I was in Cabo and stuff, so like we couldn't really update. I really think that you will like Funny Story.
I want to read that. I'm going to pick it up.
So also like yeah, I don't know. I feel like you'll like her.
I also like, I've been wanting to buy new books, but I made this vow to myself to read
finish
everything on my bookshelf because I have this irrational fear that someone's gonna come into my house and be like, "Did you read this one?" And I'm gonna be like, "No, it's the one I haven't read." Also, it just, I don't know what, it just like spends like. It makes me feel uneasy to look at it and know I haven't read it.
Yes.
Because I want to read them all.
Yeah.
But I also
feel you there. So many books that I haven't read. It's
okay,
like
so
bad.
I read Powerless. Have you talked about that?
No, we haven't talked about that. Okay, I mean, it was like okay, but like I think I was expecting for it to be like 5 stars. I think I rated it like 3 or 3.5 or something like that. Yeah, I think
the second one's gonna be really good. I have been finding that with series that I don't always love the first one.
Yes, and it's like I gotta get into it, but also like I didn't really like the writing.
I
feel like there wasn't enough like.
It felt a little too like cliche.
Yeah, and maybe because it was like YA, but also it's like
she was also 18 when she wrote it, so like props to her, like she killed that for her age.
That is very true. But I think I just was expecting it to be like everyone's like, oh, it's like an incredible romantasy, and it wasn't bad, but like it was like, I mean, because. And so many people were like, okay, it's a romance, but it's also enemies to lovers, so like of course they're gonna be enemies.
I didn't get enemies either.
Yeah, well. That's why I was like, he didn't seem like her enemy at all.
No,
he was obsessed with her.
Which I love that, but like I just didn't.
I got love
romance.
triangle more than anything.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna get down with
I was just like,
I was kind of rooting for him.
Yeah, same. I was kind of like, I wanted them to be together more than.
But I did like the trials part of it. I thought that was interesting, but the romance part was not until the end though. I will say there was one comment he makes at the end, like the very end, and I was like, ooh, I like that.
Do you remember what it was or no?
Yes, it was, okay, I don't want to give spoilers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But, I don't know, like, could people just skip that part?
Is the comment gonna spoil something, you think?
I feel like I need to like paint the picture of what happened.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can say it.
Okay, I'll tell you after.
But it's at the very end.
Okay.
It was really good.
And then you liked
I liked Addie LaRue. I thought it was so cool. So a lot of people I'm hearing didn't love it because they thought the plot went nowhere. Which, like, I don't need a plot.
Yeah.
Right?
Same.
It's pretty enough.
Magnolia Parks.
I don't care about the plot.
Yeah. Binding 13. I mean, there is a plot. But,
yeah,
like,
there is.
You just follow their life,
like,
though.
I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. But I am sickened to find out, as of recently, that people are rooting for her and this person in it that I didn't think it was even like a question. People were like,
and he's like a bad person, like,
yeah,
if you were rooting for them.
Yeah, and I didn't even think that was a possibility. I didn't think people even thought that there was a romance there. So it actually,
and it's not like a second book series.
Me.
It's not even like a second book series or anything.
No.
So, like, it's not like anything's gonna change in a future book. Like,
no, people were rooting for her and this.
Those are you dark romance girlies.
I'm scared of you guys. I'm so scared of you.
Like, are you okay?
I didn't think that it was an actual question.
You should scoot a little closer. Your head looks so small.
Okay, and then after that, I read Redeeming 6. Love all the Boys of Tama books.
What's
all of them are 5 stars.
Okay, if you had to rank them.
Okay. If I had to rank them.
I also just started
that's
this.
number 1.
Really?
That's number
your
1.
favorite?
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Then the first one second.
Okay. Because we love Johnny and Shannon, like, above all.
I'd say...
Okay. You can read them so fast. Like, I mean, I literally just started
and
this.
It's huge. Like,
yeah,
the words are tiny, but, like, you can start it because, like, you get sucked in.
Yeah, and I think because there's so much dialogue. Like, if you are kind of, like, afraid of starting this, like, literally don't be. Because it's straight dialogue, which is how I like to read books.
Loving, like, I really like the young adult ones because there's so much of, like, the friend group, too.
Yes,
like, it's not just about the 2 characters.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much about everyone.
There have been some people who have said that this book is not good writing.
Who?
And I was like, because to me, I feel like when I read this, I'm like, this is like a movie. Like, I feel like I'm watching a movie.
And it's so, if you read her other ones too, like, they're so organized. Like, you can tell she's thinking about the next book.
Yeah, so what's coming next? Because, like, you have to think back, like, okay, what happened in the other book?
She
like,
ties it all together. Like, she is, like, a very organized writer, which I like an organized writer.
I think some people feel like only good writing and good books are, like, not classics, but, like, lyrical writing. Like, which that is good, but, like, I feel like every book is good in their... Not every book. Every book is not good in their own right, but
I mean, someone.
Yeah, but someone.
Yeah. Some people have horrible taste. I'm just kidding.
No, literally. But I feel like this book, to me, like, you can't just say it's bad writing because there's a lot of dialogue, because you don't like dialogue.
Right.
Like,
but also, like, to pull off dialogue and to make me feel like I'm still picturing it, too.
And to
also,
not make it boring where it's like, hi,
her spice scenes are good, too. Like, they actually feel real, and, like, the way that she describes, like, people's actions are really good. I
can't wait to get into, like, more of this spice.
You're
like,
gonna
the first
really
one didn't have, like...
No,
but
you're
I feel
gonna
like
like
it's
this
so,
one.
like... It's just so, like...
It's sweet, too, because, like, they're in high school, and so, like, I don't know. I just think I love it.
Look at her smiling.
They have so much, like, promise to it. I really like young adult books when it's,
Me
like,
too.
they're kids, and, like, they're figuring it out, and they have each other. It's so
I do
sweet.
kind of feel like this could easily not be in young adult section.
Oh,
though.
I feel like they would be, like, college. They could be college kids, yeah.
Well, but even if they were high school kids, like, this is in the young adult
deep.
section.
I'm like, what kid is reading this?
No, I'm like, you could put this in the adult section and adults can read it, because young adult is supposed to be, what? Because there's middle grade, and then after that is young adult. Is that just high school? Like,
I just always assumed young adult was, like, the characters were young adults.
No, it's like, so
That's
this section is, it's
like,
marketing.
Whenever I tell people I love young adult, they're like, what are you?
No, they're like marketing to...
Oh my God.
Sorry,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's like when you go in the kids section in Barnes, it's like in the back, like...
Right.
Children sections, then there's a young adult, and so that's like, if you have a young adult child...
Wait, I swear some of the young adult books are
like,
deeper and darker.
Yes.
But again, like, I think about who I was when
in
I was
high
a
school.
young adult,
You were going through a lot.
Deeper and darker.
Same, yeah. And I feel like you do want relatable books, but some of them I'm just like...
This might just make me a little bit worse, actually.
Yeah. It's not making anything better. I read this book, oh, what was it called? Oh my God, I can't even think of it. But it's about a girl who goes through an assault.
You've told me about this one.
And I literally was like, this should not be young adult.
I think every
like,
time we walk past it, you're like, don't read this one ever.
No, and like, I didn't even hate the book, but I'm just like, why is this in the young adult section? Because it was like on page,
like, and a lot of, if there's like an assault or something in a book, usually they don't put it on page, but I'm like, it's on page for you to read. And then you're also going through someone's life who is in a very, very deep, dark depression. And after I finished reading the book, I was literally like, I'm feeling a little depressed.
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's
like
not going to help someone. Yeah.
Brains that are forming.
No, I feel like if it's a high school book, like, you should make, and I mean, every book can be different, but I feel like you should make the book have some kind of like hope. And you should make like, if they're going through something hard, kind of give something where it's like, okay, the person's gonna be okay.
They overcame this, yeah.
But like, yeah. Anyway.
No, that's my favorite part of it is when they overcome it.
I know,
like,
please.
Not these kids.
You've read so many. I cannot believe
I finished the whole Boys Atomic series.
Guys, I just am finding out that Taylor even has a Goodreads. Like, you pulled up your Goodreads and I was like, you have a Goodreads?
I almost made it private because I'm scared that wait, okay, I don't know if I told you this. So there's this book that Chloe Walsh wrote called 7 Sleepless Nights, and there's a chapter for like, there's like,
you were telling me that, you told me that you read it.
It was like $14 and there's like 6 chapters, but like,
what's it from? Like,
it's just, so like from a bunch of different books of hers, she has like a chapter from the point of view of like random characters. So like there's a chapter from the point of view of like Claire, and it's like in the past, like way in the past, and then there's a chapter about, I think, from Johnny's point of view or Shannon's point of view.
That's when you know it's a 5-star series, when you're like, I want everything.
Every crumb, yes. But it's I thought, like, that's so unique and cute. Like, I really like authors that do creative things.
Me too.
And maybe that's a normal thing, but I didn't.
I've never heard of that before.
I hadn't either.
Would you recommend like reading those?
You
would?
I really think it's cute. If you want to read it, I give it to you.
Is she gonna do more of those? Do you know?
The Boys Atomic series?
No, like the
those little chapters.
The chapters?
I don't know. She should.
Yeah,
it kind of makes me want to read her other books.
And it gives you a little bit of like a little bit more when you like are done. It does give you a
little bit more, and it's not like she didn't have to go and like make a whole like prequel or anything, but like you
just like adding a little bit.
Yeah, like she wrote something sweet about like Claire and Gibson when they were little kids. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they were friends.
They've been friends since they were little kids. It's very
that's so
sweet.
Cute. That's so cute. You've read so many. The fact that you have Goodreads, I'm literally gonna stop.
I don't know if I want to share the other ones I read. What have you been reading, actually?
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. So did I tell you about Picking Daisies on Sundays?
Yes,
I will like that book. It's not at Barnes, so you're gonna have to buy it.
Honestly, anything with the character Daisy or the name Daisy, I like. So.
Oh my god. My friend Jordan, you met Jordan in Chicago. She's reading Magnolia Park.
She's on Daisy Hayes.
Yes.
I think she's gonna be a Daisy girl.
Oh, I think so too. Oh, I genuinely. So we've said this before. We're like either you're a Magnolia girl or you're a Daisy girl, and like I think she's gonna be a Daisy girl.
But also like I feel like she could be a Magnolia girl because the fashion thing.
I feel like the fashion thing is definitely Magnolia, but I feel like she gives Daisy.
Got like the spice.
She's got the
Daisy.
grit. Yeah. She's just, I don't know. She's got that
so what's
grit.
that one called again? Because you know, said it's not
Picking Daisies on Sundays. Yeah.
Perfect.
There's only like a few reviews, but I genuinely think that you would like it.
Oh, it's got some good reviews.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was just literally just some random girl in college who like wrote a book. And,
that's so cute. I love the cover.
But then she like I guess had a second book that was out, and she like took it off the shelves because that one started blowing up, and other people wanted to like buy her other book, and she's like, yeah, I need to like edit that, like I need to like fix it up. She just like wrote it and like threw it out there.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I'm actually ordering right now.
Like I went to like her Instagram, and like she's just a girl. Like she wasn't even like trying to like, you know how some people like try to promote their work and like be like an author, which you are an author regardless, but like anyway, I thought it was cute. But really like that book. I think what you'll like about it is the writing. Like, okay, so Magnolia Parks to me has like poetic writing, but it's not boring. And I feel like sometimes people write poetic writing and it's like you're just trying to be like,
yeah, you're trying to sound fun, a little fancy.
Yes, and it's like I don't want to read that. Like I want to read something that actually makes sense. So I feel like Picking Daisies on Sundays is like that, but it's like fluffy, nothing too heavy. And then the book that I just finished, Talking at Night, by Claire Daverly.
Is that the one with a really cute cover that you showed
Yes,
me?
I randomly picked it up and I started and I got 100 pages in, or I got 50 pages in, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Like, it's a unique writing style, which to me, like when we first started Magnolia Parks, I feel like it took me a minute to like get used to this style.
Oh, for sure.
It was kind of like that. By page 100, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. And it's a friends to lovers story, and I can't really tell too much, but it's really good.
Okay.
It's really, I think
at Barnes, I don't need to order.
This one's at Barnes, but this one was at the news section, and I'd heard no one talk about it, like literally no one anywhere. And
Can you like say like what the storyline is, or does that give too much away?
I kind of gotta be vague because like on the inside it just says like they're friends. It's a friends to lovers story, and you track throughout their whole life. Kind of like, what is that book? It reminds me of like Before We Were Strangers. Like, okay, like how they were together in college. You read that one, right?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, they were together in college, and they kind of had like a break, and then they got like reconnected. They didn't even really have a break. I mean, they kind of did, but like they have always been connected, but like life is kind of keeping them apart. But it is so realistic to like real life.
That sounds like something I'd like.
Yes, and it is sad in a lot of parts, but also it's
I'm
very,
okay with
very
that.
good.
You know, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's very
also
good.
You can bleep this out, but like
no, I'm gonna leave
there's
it.
no.
I'm bleeping this out so it can be spoiler free. But if you read Before We Were Strangers, you know what wild thing happens at the end of that book.
Oh yeah, please tell me there's not that, because that ruined the book for me.
No.
Oh my god.
When people add it just to add it, that's annoying to me.
Yes,
but it's like you gotta like. I don't know, like, I don't want it to just be like, surprise, like.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. And like, add it in the beginning.
Yes, or the middle, like, a little, like, just somewhere where
honestly,
I can get something.
Don't do it. Like, I'm not a fan of it.
A lot of people don't like it.
I remember, like, literally, like, it was, like, very dramatic how I found out, and I was like, why, like, shut the book for a second? I was like, no. And then I opened it right back up.
I'm gonna put like a spoiler thing on the screen, so
yes,
like,
sorry,
no, it's fine,
but
because there would be people who have read it and so they can just skip past,
and then they can be like, yes, I agree with you.
Yes, because it was really unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. Like the writing was so cute. It was such a cute story, and then boom.
Let me see what else.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't heard what you've been reading.
Okay, I read Work Husband by Octavia Grant. Look at the cover of this book. Okay, this is gonna tell you what this book is about. This is not something I would normally pick up. I read it, yeah, and it was because a girl who I follow on Instagram and TikTok, I trust her recs, like,
okay.
Every time she recommends
not
something.
Anymore?
No, I still do.
Oh, it was good?
So, I don't know if I would say good.
Okay.
It was unhinged. And it was only like 60 pages. And everyone kept saying, yeah, it was super short. But everyone kept saying, like, read this if you just kind of want, like, a book that's, like, totally different than, like, other books. So I was like, okay. Like, I've been reading a lot of fluffy romances. So I was like, I'll give it a try. I don't want to spoil anything because I want, like, there's only 60 pages. So I want anyone who reads it to kind of go into it just, like, fully blind. It was so unhinged. Like... Even thinking, as I was reading, I was like, whoa. And not even like, I mean, there were like spicy scenes, but it wasn't even the spicy scenes. It was just like what happened in those 60 pages. I was like, what the?
Wait, did they like did they wrap it all up in the end? Or did you just like end the book?
No, they wrapped it up, but like, you know, okay, so you know how authors, they kind of follow like a guideline of like what would realistically happen in real life. You know, like, I can't even think of an example, but like, when you read something, you're usually like, oh, that could happen in real life.
Right.
This book, like, this is not happening in real life, which made it more fun because you did not know what was going to happen. And, like, it was only 60 pages. So, like, I mean, you were interested in the book the entire time because you're like, there's no way this would happen in real life. Like, just... I can't even...
I feel like when the camera's off, you need to, like, tell me an example of something that happened.
I don't know. Maybe you should read it. Like, it wasn't like a good book. Like it genuinely wasn't a good book, but it was a good book. Like that's why I was like, I ended up rating it 4 stars because I felt bad rating it anything less because I was entertained. Like that, I think was the point. But it was like the writing was fine, but it wasn't like the storyline was just like while I was reading, I was like, what? Like my mouth at one point was like,
oh my god.
But I think that
still,
that was the point.
I feel like you're so generous with your ratings because I rate books I like 3 stars.
Yeah, no, so I do too. Like,
but it was the unhingedness.
It was the unhingedness. I think because usually I'll rate something like 3.5 if I like it. But I think why I had a hard time rating it was because as I was reading, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't like good. Like if someone was like, oh, like recommend a good book to me, it wouldn't be that one. Right. But it was
you can't be mad at it.
No, it did what I expected it to do. Like people kept saying it's unhinged. Right. Like if you go into it, your jaw is gonna be on the floor.
Okay,
like
now I want to read it.
And that's why I wanted to read it.
Now.
It's only 60 pages. So like after I read it, I was like,
but like that's the cover. Oh, yes! I want that on my bookshelf.
That's why it's nice. I do. So... You can take it home. I have it. You can finish it.
Oh my god. Okay, I will.
Because,
it looks it looks like something.
It's
spicy.
Yes, it is.
Like 50 Shades of Grey type of stuff. But like
it did have some stuff like that, but it wasn't even like that. Wasn't even the driving force of the plot.
Then it's got to be interesting. If you're not like relying on like the spice to make it like crazy, then
no, it was like, and that's why I was saying it wasn't even like that was the crazy part. It was just the stuff that happened. And I was like, and I want to say what movie it reminds me of, but I can't say it without like kind of spoiling it. And it's only 60 pages, so I don't want to like spoil it. You know what I mean? It just was.
I want to know. What
I rated it, and I'm pretty much like, if I rate something 4 stars, I pretty much want everyone to read it.
Right.
And
4 stars is almost like 5 to me. Like if something's 4, then
yeah, it's like you're up there. Yeah, and that's. I think it's just because like it was just so. It's like nothing I've ever read before.
Right, and I know you've been like wanting to like have something shocking.
Yes, something very different.
It did what it did.
There were trigger warnings that you see at the front of the book, and I was like, how is this going to be in this book?
Oh my god, I need to read.
And I read it and I was like,
how do you fit this in 60 pages?
Yeah, it was, so that book, surprisingly, it was unhinged, it was messy, it was something I genuinely didn't think I was going to like. But I actually was like,
sounds fun.
And I've already ordered 2 more books.
No, you didn't. You liked it.
Yeah,
you liked it.
I think it's because, and there's another book that is called Dear Vicky, and everyone's like, oh my god, if you read Work Husband, you should read Dear Vicky. And I think the author is known for being unhinged. Like, she will literally like, and this is what I mean by like authors writing stuff that is kind of like stuff that happens. So like, no one's just gonna walk in our backyard and just like blow our brains out. You know, like that's not really gonna happen in real life.
This writer sounds like she's in my head though. Like, these are my intrusive thoughts.
But she will literally like make something like that. Like someone's just like on a boat, just like having a fun day, and then just someone just comes over and
like Black Mirror episode.
Kind of, but like
crazy.
I don't know. So that I think was nice because most books are kind of predictable. Like, and it's not a thriller, so like I was like, okay, it's a romance. Like, it's gonna be kind of predictable.
It's a romance too?
Yeah. Yes, that's why I was like, what?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm reading this.
It was unhinged, so I literally have already bought 2. And I think I'm gonna read them whenever I'm kind of reading the same book, and I just need something that's gonna be totally different. Yeah. I'm gonna pick that up.
Get you out of a block or whatever.
Yep. So I read that. Literally, my rating, let me read what I wrote.
I need to hear this.
I said, as I was writing this, I could not stop laughing. I've never put ha 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 in a review before, and I said, I genuinely don't know what I just read, but I need more of it, ha 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 ha. I've never put that in a review before. I said, this is not my typical read, so jump into this with caution, in all caps, knowing that it's completely unhinged. The spice was out of this world and way more than I would normally pick up, but I think because the book was so short and was a whole hot mess, I didn't mind it. I'm already ordering another book as we speak. This is the perfect book to read after a fluffy romance to shake things up. Check the trigger warnings. Like I said, I am shook by this book. Like, why do I want more of this? I don't even know. Ha 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 ha. It was giving messy, but I love it. Again. I've never put ha 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 in a review. As I was typing,
I want to read. I feel like I'm gonna like it just because like
it's just like everyone who has read her books are like, is she okay? Like the stuff that she writes is like when you just please read it tonight.
Okay,
it's like 60 pages. Read it tonight, and at the end you're gonna be like, what? Like, what did I just read?
I can't wait to tell Gunnar about it.
But it's like, it's not good, but it's like good because it's entertaining. Like, I can't even explain it. Like,
I know what you mean. I do. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna know what you mean, especially after I read it.
Yeah. Okay. And then I read The Kiss Countdown, which that was super cute.
Was that the one you read on vacation?
Mm-hmm.
That one looks cute.
So cute. Like, it was an astronaut, an event planner, like they had a fake date. It was like the fluffy vibes that I feel like I used to love fluffy books, but then I feel like they got so predictable that I was just like I can't read another one. But this one was not predictable. It was very enjoyable. 4 stars. Really, really loved it. And I have not rated a fluffy book 4 stars in a really long time. And then I read When She Returned, which is about a lady who is a thriller. She was in a cult, and it talks about why people like would leave to be in a cult, and it's like pretty realistic. And it was very messed up. Yeah, I don't know if she's ever gonna get into thrillers.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't. I feel like you wouldn't like them. Like,
I'm not like I don't know. I don't like thrillers. I don't like what's it called that everyone really loves, like true crime.
Yeah.
Not into it. It just makes me sad. And like the thing is, I think what the issue is I find a way to empathize with even the bad people sometimes. Like especially when you like the Joker movie.
Yeah.
Gutted me. Like I was so sad for him for days, but I'm like, he's also freaking horrible. Like I shouldn't feel bad for him, and I felt bad for everyone. Like I just felt bad he got to that point, and it's just like I don't.
You're just so like so I feel like you're such a empath. Like you're just,
I don't know. It's something because it just makes me sad, but then also like you're doing really bad things. So. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like you got a lot to choose from already with what you have with contemporary romance and literary fiction. Yes. And somewhat fantasy.
Yeah. I'm not against the fantasy. I'm really not. I really want to read Song of Achilles, which I think is fiction. But
yeah, I feel like you'd like
some
that.
Greek mythology and stuff like that. I think I'll really like that one. I'm going to pick that up. I'm also going to pick up Conversations with Friends next time, too.
Oh, by Sally Rooney? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she loves Sally Rooney.
I like normal people, so I feel like I should read this one, too.
I say this all the time, that I used to say you're either a Colleen Hoover or Sally Rooney girl, but I've actually tweaked that because I feel like Colleen Hoover is a totally different vibe now. So now I feel like I'd say you're more of a Sally Rooney girl or like an Abby Jimenez or like a Sally Rooney or like a Emily Henry.
Yes.
Like, because I feel like they're two totally different vibes.
Yeah, I agree.
And but kind of like Sally Rooney girls, I feel like are like the artsy, like the, I can't even think of the word, like the artsy, the thoughtful, deep like, thinkers, like giving like
drinks black coffee.
Yes,
like
yes,
doesn't want anything sweet.
Yes, she has like a digital camera versus an iPhone. Like
drinks straight vodka.
Yeah, and then I feel like the Abby Jimenez girls, or I don't know if I'd say Emily Henry. Maybe Abby Jimenez is like a better fit. The Abby Jimenez girls, I feel like are
nice.
Like the fluffy, you know, the probably have coffee, but it like has more cream than it does coffee.
I like that.
Yeah, so yeah,
I like that.
I said that like a few years ago, and I feel like I've definitely tweaked it because Colleen Hoover, I think, is in her own realm now.
I only read one book of hers.
Yeah, her books I think are more like, I usually recommend them to very new readers. So like a friend at my gym, when she like wanted to dive into romance, I gave her a book by Lauren Lane, which I love Lauren Lane. Her books are so like fluffy, they're really easy to read, and she was like, this is too fluffy for me, but she normally reads like thrillers. So she was like, I do want to read like a romance that I'll enjoy. So I gave her reminders of him, and she's like, I actually did really enjoy that. But I think it's because like Colleen Hoover always has some messed up stuff in her books.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's like I don't necessarily, okay, and I can't say this is true all the time because these Keeping 13, the Boys in Thomas series, like,
but these are different. I feel like that's different.
But like also it's not their stuff, like it's like their stuff that's happening to them, which I feel like is true like when you're growing up, like a lot of your issues aren't necessarily your own. Yes. It's just like your environment, because you are literally your child. Right. But I don't know, like I don't love books that have to have some kind of like crazy plot or some crazy thing that happens.
To keep you like invested. It's like you could just have good, not that that's bad writing, like in any capacity.
It's just not what I am interested in. Yeah. Like, I want to like the characters. I want like to feel something like that's not just like shock value. I don't like that even with like movies. Like action movies I do like because I know what I'm getting into.
It's like I want to think about myself and like how I've grown or like how it relates to my life, like things like that. And I feel like sometimes books that are heavy shock factor, you can't really relate. Like I feel like books that are very introspective are my favorite because I can be like, oh, like this makes me think of that. Like, and even with like Binding 13, when you were like, oh, this makes me think of like high school. Like some books that like are like that can be similar and make you have feelings that think about like your own life and stuff. But
that's my favorite too. I think also like I kind of really like books that have that in like a subtle way too. It's not like the whole like premise of the book. Like I really liked Addie LaRue because there was like parts of it that like kind of made you look at life differently, but like that wasn't the full intention.
Did you cry at the end of that one?
I haven't cried at a book yet.
So many people said that they like sobbed on that one. I want to get a book that you cry on.
I get teared up for sure.
You didn't even cry on Into the Dark?
No. Okay. So okay. Listen. Hear me out. I don't.
Is there a heart in there?
No, there is. I cry at movies. I don't normally cry unless I see someone else cry.
Oh, okay.
like, I'll get, like, choked up, but, like, I'm really good at choking it down. Like, I'm really good at, like, just pushing it way back. But, like, I don't normally, like, cry unless I see someone else cry. So, like, even, like, though I'm emotional for them in the book, if I'm not seeing them cry, I'm like...
You won't cry.
Yeah.
I feel like Into the Dark, that one had me just...
Oh, for sure. Like, I had the lump in my throat the whole time. The tears were there. It's just they went back down.
I'm trying to think of other books that have even made me cry. Like, I feel like a lot of books haven't made me cry recently. I think it's because, like, books, not all books, but, like, a lot of books are predictable. And I think what makes you usually cry in a book, I think, is, like, when you don't really see it coming. Whether it's their emotions or the thing that happens, like.
For sure.
Also, back to the Colleen Hoover real quick. One of you guys was like, I got like a box or something from Colleen Hoover, and it was like a box of like nail polish and like a book, and someone was like, oh, like she probably wouldn't have sent that to you if some of y'all are mean in the comments, let's just say that. Like, okay, but someone was like, oh, she probably wouldn't have like sent you that box if she like knew what you thought about her writing. I don't dislike her books. Like, I recommend her books all the time. I like her books.
She probably still would have because PR. But like, okay, bye. Like, you think she really cares?
Right, no, but like, I like her books. It's just like, there's certain books that I feel like I recommend to new readers, and there's certain books that I feel like I recommend to people who aren't new readers. For the Week by Natasha Bishop. Love that book. I recommended that book to new readers because it's less than 300 pages. It's a super fast-paced read. It's easy. It's fun. I rated it 4 stars. That is not a book that I'm recommending to someone who is like a very seasoned reader. I mean, maybe like if you're wanting something that's like quick, fast-paced, like, you know, but if you're someone who likes, like, Kennedy Ryan's writing is extremely different than Natasha Bishop's writing, and Emily Henry's writing is very different than like Abby Jimenez or Colleen Hoover. Does not make either of those authors bad. They just have different purposes. So like for me, when I want to read a book in 24 hours, I'm gonna read something by Abby Jimenez. Colleen Hoover, like quick, fast, you know, and it doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just like a different vibe. I feel like the books I do connect with, oh my gosh, hi, I feel like the books that I connect with the most are the books that okay. Oh, no, not the pizza, not the pizza.
Axel.
Not the pizza, Axel.
Are you being naughty?
Oh, not the pizza. But I feel like the books that I connect with the most are hi, bud. Are the books so I know he is. I feel like the books I connect with the most are the oh my god. Are the ones that are like the deeper ones.
Yeah.
Like
me too.
Magnolia Parks, where it's like lyrical, and then you have all the like stuff they're going through, and it's fine.
It's so cute.
Those I feel like are the ones that I like really, really get into.
You're such a boy.
He's like, I want this shoe as well.
So cute.
He's so cute. We are at 15 hours and 47 minutes, and never again will I use this freaking laptop for a timer. I was thinking of using this because Taylor was gonna be here for a while and we were gonna read together, but then we didn't end up reading together. We ended up just like talking. I definitely should have started on my phone, but that's a little mistake of my own. But I want to show you guys the book that I just finished. So far I've finished Dances, and this is by Nicole Cuffey. This was really good. I do think that if you're a dancer, you would enjoy this more just because it has a lot of like dance lingo in it. And I was a dancer literally for one recital. My mom was like, this isn't for you, and pulled me out of dancing. So a lot of the lingo I didn't really know other than like the basics, like pirouette and stuff like that. So I think if you are a dancer, you will really, really, really love this story. It talks so much about just like the struggles that you have with dancing, like how there's like this expectations to be smaller, and it also talks about like the technical like pieces of dance, like the movements that are hard to like really get down. It talks about having partners, and like dancing with someone else and like syncing up with them. It also talks about instructors and how they can be really harsh, and it like changes your view of yourself. It talks about like not really like how you want to reach your dreams, but like there's things that come in the way and you have to figure out like how you're going to navigate them. It was really enjoyable. I'd probably say that this was 3 stars just because I am not a dancer and there was some lingo that I was like really confused about. And I'm also about, I think 100 pages into, yeah, 75 pages into Keeping 13. This is really good. And this was actually the book that Taylor said is her favorite. So I am really excited to get into it even more. I just eat this up. I read it so freaking fast. So we're gonna head outside and read this for a little bit. I freaking love how these characters feel so real. And I think it's because there's so much dialogue. You can't help but just like fall in love with the characters. I also am really excited to even like get more into the stories of the other characters because Johnny and Shannon, I'm obsessed, like absolutely obsessed, but I feel like Gibbsy's story is gonna be so good. I feel like Joey's story is gonna be so good. Like Chloe Walsh has done, what's her name? Chloe Walsh? Yeah, she's done such a good job of making you fall in love with the people you're reading about. So hopefully you guys can like even hear me because it is literally so windy out. Let me show you guys the sunset right now. We're gonna end the vlog here, even though I have 8 hours still left because I'm gonna finish the rest of this reading challenge on Instagram. So make sure you guys are following me there. I think the video will be up on, I think Friday or Saturday, I'm pretty sure. Taylor's gonna come over tomorrow, and so we're gonna read a little bit tomorrow and just like finish out the challenge. I feel like because she started it with me, it'll be fun to like finish it with her. So if you guys wanna see like the reading and stuff that we did for like the last 8 hours, you guys have to go over to my Instagram to see it. I've never done this before where I've like split it up, but I thought that it would be kind of fun just because she's like coming over tomorrow and she can't come over today. So yeah, I thought that would be cool. But let me give you guys a little wrap up of the books that I finished. So I ended up finishing Dances first. I already gave you guys like a little recap of that. I feel like this one will be really good for the people who have danced. Like if you are a dancer or have danced in your life for like years and years, I feel like you'll really like this one. And then I got about halfway through Keeping 13 and I'm gonna finish the rest of it probably tomorrow during the last 8 hours because I am like super invested in it, but I really want to take my time with it because it's the last Johnny and Shannon story, because then you get into Gibbsy's story and Joey and Aoife or Reef, what's her name? You guys know who I'm trying to say if you read the books before. Her name's like spelled kind of funny. But then you get into her story and I really want to savor this one. This one is Taylor's favorite out of all of them and it's one I'm really enjoying. I feel like I used to read between like 16 to 20 books a month, and now I feel like my sweet spot is like 14. I still will sometimes like have months where I'll read like 16 or 17 or 19 or 20 or whatever, but I feel like my average is around like 14, and that's usually when I'm reading like the thicker books that are like 600 pages and, you know, like Demon's Dream and Keeping 13, which I'm still reading Demon's Dream and I'm also really enjoying that. I just didn't read it in this video. And then I read Pride and Protest, and this one actually really surprised me like a lot, and I think because I thought I knew what it was going to be going into it and then it ended up being so much more. I think that this is a underrated book. I really enjoyed it. I will say it was a little spicier than I probably would have wanted. Like there were points where like the characters, I'm like, okay, you guys gotta like work. Like you gotta go to work, you gotta do regular things, and it's like they're still super focused on the physical aspect. So for that, I think I'll rate this book 3.5, and I'm rating this 3 stars. But again, if you don't like mind spice, I feel like you'll really love this story. It has a unique ending. This one is about it's like really a rival, like a true rivals to lovers story. I don't want to tell like too much of the story just because I feel like going into it somewhat blind is kind of helpful, because you can really get to know the characters more, because they do really explain like why they're both rivals. But it is really, really good, and I feel like it's rare for me to find a rivals to lovers story where they actually feel like rivals, and they definitely do in this story. There are also times where I'm kind of like annoyed with both of the characters, and I also understand both of the characters really well too, and like both of their different worlds that they're coming from. This is just a really, really unique and good story. I think I thought that this would be a little too heavy because of the topic of the story, and I like to read books that are like pretty fluffy and lighthearted, but it actually wasn't like too heavy in any way at all. Like it was more light and fluffy than I thought it would be. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. The sun is setting. The reason I'm also stopping the 24-hour reading challenge is because the sun is setting. I'm gonna go back and cut the rest of the grass. Brady's been out of town, and he won't be back till Friday, and I wanna cut the grass and do like a little solo date tomorrow, and maybe go to like the ceramic shop. So head over to Instagram on my stories when you guys are seeing this, because I think tomorrow I'm gonna do like some solo stuff that'll be really fun. But also I've been working on this project for our house for, I think it's like, we're in week 2, I'm pretty sure, and it's almost done. I think it's gonna be done either tomorrow or like Friday. I'm hoping tomorrow, so whenever Taylor comes over she can see it. But yeah, I am really excited for it to be done, and so I'm gonna try to finish up a lot of it tonight and then like early tomorrow, so hopefully it can be done. And I'm like vlogging the whole thing on Instagram, and it also is book related, so it should be something that I feel like you guys will really, really enjoy. So make sure you're following me on Instagram if you guys aren't already. I post lots of bookish like content over there. Also I have a podcast if you guys don't know, and like I have bookish episodes too, so you guys can like go listen to those. Not every episode is bookish, but there are a lot of bookish episodes, and then of course TikTok as well. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little 24-hour reading challenge. If you guys want to get the last 8 hours of this 24-hour reading challenge, go over to my Instagram, and I'll be posting the little like reading video on either Friday or Saturday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.